Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sunday post-race press conference here at Phillip Island at the end of the Liqui Moly Australian Grand Prix in 2025. We're joined by our top three on the podium. What a day to remember for Raul Fernandez and the Trackhouse Motogp teammate. First time winner in the Premier Class. Seventh different winner this season in MotoGP. 5 different winners now in the last 5 Grand Prix in what's turning out to be a pretty incredible end to 2025. Congratulations to you, Raul. Second place, after a real hard fight through from 10th place on the grid, is Fabio Di Giannantonio, riding for the Terima Enduro VR46 racing team. And it was another fantastic ride once again by Marco Bezzechi, riding for the Aprilia Racing Squad. Marco, the winner in the sprint yesterday, and despite those 2 long laps in that 27-lap Australian Grand Prix, he somehow still fought his way back through into a fantastic 3rd place. Gentlemen, well done to all 3 of you. We'll start the press conference first of all with you, Raul. Huge congratulations, an incredible special day for you and the team. You are a MotoGP winner for the very first time. Not an easy race to manage in those windy conditions, but you have done it. How do you feel?
Yeah, still, I don't believe it. Yesterday when I saw the sprint, Marco had an amazing pace, and also Digia in the last part of the sprint have a really good pace. This morning, when I had a meeting with the team, we thought that to fight for the podium was an unrealistic position, but I never thought that we had the choice to get the victory. Anyway, I am really happy for me, for my team, but especially for my family and for my brother, because he always support me. Today we had a very difficult condition, especially the last part of the race with the wind, but anyway I tried to manage. I tried to warm up well the rear tire, and after that when I overtook Pedro and I saw that I had a very similar pace than Marco, I say okay, maybe it's the day, but you don't need to make a mistake. And in that moment I just try to be focused on me, try to don't think a lot, and try to enjoy the moment, and that's it. What I did. In the last 4 laps, I tried to don't make a mistake, but I removed the tire off and I couldn't take again the handlebar. And also, it's helped to me to say, okay, at least you don't win. You need to be calm if you want to get the victory. And I try to be even more relaxed, but in the last lap, in the last sector, I start to cry on the helmet, and yeah, I am very happy for Trackhouse, but also for Aprilia, because it's the 300 victory for them. So yeah, congratulations also for you.
You're the 4th different rider to win for Aprilia, of course, with Aleix Espargaro, Maverick Vinales and Marco Bezzechi, who sat alongside you. The first time 2 Aprilias have been on a Sunday podium since Catalunya in 2023. You've just talked about those last 4 laps, Raul. I guess at times it felt like 4 years, but how did you feel when we crossed the line? How did you manage the end of the race?
Oof. It was difficult, but I tried to be focused. On the dashboard we have the sector, and I was just thinking to don't make a big mistake and try to be constant. It's true that the last 3-4 laps I have a big drop on the tire and I just try to survive. But for me the more difficult thing was when I ended turn 10 and I make the last sector, I start to cry, and also the last lap that I make, I was all the lap crying, because I don't. This morning I never thought that was the day to get the victory.
Raul, congratulations to you, Aprilia, and to Trackhouse as well on a wonderful day here in Australia. An excellent day as well for Terima Enduro VR46 Racing. We know how much Fabio Di Giannantonio loves Phillip Island after 2023, and also a big battle for the podium here last year. Fabio, I think you've been a bit under the weather, a bit ill so far this weekend, so today's podium was the perfect pick-me-up.
Yeah, for sure. We did an amazing job, I think, last week in the preparation of the weekend, because the team did a lot of analysis and study and understood what could be the best package for us to race with here. And yeah, that was the key to make this kind of performance. Bittersweet feeling, because we know that we ruined a little bit our chances to make a possible podium or a win after qualifying. But it was out of our control, so it was like this. Then yeah, for sure the fever didn't help at all. Yesterday night I was really sick. I went to at my house here. Well, not mine, but at house here. I'm still not that rich. I went out quite early because I was feeling so bad, and yeah, I had to make the job done. We did an amazing race. I'm super happy, super proud about the overtakes because it was not easy starting from P10. But yeah, proud of the team, proud of the performance, and happy.
Maybe you can buy the house with your podium bonus now, Fabio. You made, as you say, so many.
I need to negotiate a little bit because it's not close yet.
As mentioned, starting from the fourth row in 10th place, it's not easy to make overtakes. You made so many of them. Which one do you feel was the best, and who was the toughest to get through?
Well, you know that when I have this kind of problem, let's say, when I do the race, in the short time, I never remember everything. Like some things, it means that you do by instinct, you know.
Moment.
Yeah, so I don't remember every overtake. Maybe the one with Pedro, because I didn't expect him to overtake me in turn number 1, and I jumped back inside on the turn number 2. It's not easy at all to make it there. But also the overtakes that I've done in turn 8 is another big balls corner. So these two are my favorites.
There was a fantastic move you made on Fabio Quartararo in that corner. Marco himself also made some pretty good moves in that turn 8. We saw Chris Hemsworth was here as well. Maybe a lucky mascot for the team. Maybe you can bring him to Sepang next week as well.
Definitely. I was feeling the Avenger feeling. You know, I was like a superhero with him in the garage. It's been great to meet him. Great to have him in the garage. He's a super nice and humble person. So it was definitely an extra motivation to make it special this weekend.
Fabio, great to see you back on the podium here once again in Phillip Island. Completing today's top 3 then is Marco Bezzechi. Marco, it was always going to be a tough race, a big challenge for you to win with the 2 long laps, but you put up an incredible fight. You dropped back to 6th at one stage, fought your way back inside that top 3. I mean, it's not a win, but it must feel pretty close to it, given all the circumstances you had to deal with.
Yeah, it's been nice. Super tough because, as you said, I never thought honestly about the victory. Only the journalist thought about it. But yeah, you. But I didn't even expect a podium. So to be honest, when the race was going on, I tried my best to be far in the moment that I did the first long lap, to don't finish inside the pack, you know. And my strategy fortunately worked well. To be completely honest, was the strategy from my team, not me. And then after the second long lap, fortunately I was only 6, so better than I expected. But having pushed so much in the beginning, I couldn't stress more the tires. If not, I was going to be dead in the last laps. So yeah, super happy when I fought with Pedro. I thought that 4th was the maximum. It's super hard to overtake him, so I said, okay, that's it. Let's try to escape from him and secure this 4th place. But then I saw that also with Alex I was catching him, so I said, okay, let's continue pushing, and at least I try.
Of course, today's result means you are now 3rd in the World Championship, moving ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. Taking nothing away from Raul, do you think without the 2 long laps, it was clearly, like it was in the sprint yesterday, going to be a battle between you two? Because it seems like Aprilia and you and Raul have been that little step ahead of everybody else this weekend.
Well, it's impossible to say it, because at the end I did the race with the 2 long laps, of course. I don't know, because Raul was super good this weekend, and I felt good also with the bike. They are Aprilia, all the Aprilia factory is working in an amazing way. So let's say that it's okay like this.
Another fantastic weekend, as you mentioned, for Aprilia. That's enough from me, Raul, Fabio and Marco. Congratulations once again on your fantastic podium. We'll take questions, please, now from the media. Thank you.
Simon Patterson from the race. Raul, you've already reminded me of Sachsenring 2 years ago. How hard has the last 2 years been to maintain the confidence that you could do this?
Yeah, you know, it was very difficult. But the good thing is I feel that I have a really good people around me, and they help me a lot. And also the last year when I decided to stay on the team, I think I had the best choice to keep in here with on a factory bike, and it helped to me a lot to remove the pressure, to stay focused on myself, to try to work in my way, and I think it was the key. After a 4 very difficult year, I get again to be in a victory position. Still, I don't believe it, but if I have to say something, is I am here, I think, for my family and for my brother, because he always helped to me. Also, the team helped to me a lot, but he's the more important people in my life, and when I have a very difficult situation, he always support me.
Mela Chércoles, diario ES en Cadena Ser, a question for Marco. Is so much to say that in this moment the Aprilia is at the level of Ducati, or is only by the last 2 circuits that go very well for your bike?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's impossible to make a comparison because I don't ride the Ducati. I'm an Aprilia rider, but what I can say is that now I feel super good with my bike. The engineers are doing a wonderful job, and to be honest, we've been quite consistent. Of course, there are tracks where the characteristics of the bike are super good, and there are other tracks where the bike is anyway super good, but everyone is a little bit more close, and maybe we have to try to work more. So I don't know to answer you in a specific way, but I think that we are making step forwards.
Hi, Dimitris Diatsidis from Cosmote TV Greece. A question from each one of you. Marco, first for you. The second long lap, it seems to me, and I didn't check the times, that it was a little slower than the first one. It was due to the consumption of the tires, or you just make it a little slower? And then when you understood that you can re-attack for the first position after a small pace, not very fast?
Well, the second long lap, to be honest, I tried my best like in the first one, so I don't know if it was slower or not. I think that I wanted to be fast, of course, but also I didn't want to risk to touch the green and do the long lap again. So I kept myself a couple of tenths instead of losing 2 more seconds. Then, I tried to manage. First of all, I had to make the tire breathe a bit, so it was not a decision to slow down, was what I had to do. But then when I realized that I was not losing time managing, I said, okay, let's try to be patient, and if it's possible at the end, let's try to be closer. And then I tried.
A question for Raul. Raul, in the beginning of the championship, you weren't at that easy as you seem to be now in this last part. What changed in your bike, in your team, and in yourself during these races?
I say a lot of time. I think for me the big change was the Jerez test. We had a lot of time to work. I think I make a very big mistake at the beginning of the season when I crashed in Japan and I was injured. My comeback was quite soon, and it doesn't help to create the bike setup. So for me, basically the big change is we had some tests in the middle of the season that we had time to work in ourselves, and we found something that helped to me to ride better the bike.
And question for Fabio. Fabio, do you think that GP25 is better on tire consumption than 24, and is one of the reasons that Alex lost so easy to your attack?
I've always been a good tire manager, actually. So I did many races coming back and managing well the tires. So I think even with whatever bike I was using today, maybe the result was the same. Again, GP25, 24, in our cases, they are just names that we had to make, at the beginning of the year, the name of the bike. When you are a factory rider, you have just a lot of pieces with a lot of codes, and you just try to make the bike the best package possible to push and go fast. So my bike was not 25, 24, 26, 23, whatever. It's just the best bike that Ducati gives me to go fast, and in my case, I'm also able to manage well the tires. So I don't think that the model year of the bike would change something today.
Michel Turcot, Motor Revue. Question for you, Marco. Could you tell us a bit how the bike has improved since the beginning of the season? Where were the steps you have done, and what you still need, in your opinion, to improve on the bike, and what the bike is doing very well compared to the others?
Well, the bike, we improved a bit on every aspect of the riding. Of course, we still need to work on many of them, because some tracks we are super good, but some tracks we still need to improve. But at least we are more consistent now. The bike is, I enjoy when I ride the bike, and the stability improved. That was the biggest issue for me at the beginning, and this gave me the confidence to finally be back on braking as I was a couple of years ago. So I think that this for me was the best improvement.
Neil Morrison, a question for Raul and for Fabio. Raul, yesterday we saw you fighting with Bezzechi ahead of everyone else in the sprint race, and with Marco doing the double long lap today, obviously a lot of expectation on your shoulders. How did you manage that expectation today, and was it quite difficult to remain calm before the race?
I know that he had to double long lap to make today, but I still thought that he had a pace to come back. So to be honest, I don't think too much on the victory. I just thinking to try to get my first podium. But the moment when I see that the victory we had the choice to fight for the victory was when I overtake Pedro, and I have a very similar pace than Marco. In that moment, I say, okay, he have to make two double long laps. Sorry, maybe here we can have a gap, and maybe with this gap he cannot come back. But anyway, I just trying to be focused on me, and don't make a mistake, and it's helped me a lot to be focused.
Okay, thank you. And Fabio, some of the other Ducati riders have been struggling a lot with stability this weekend, Pecco in particular. I'm just curious, was this an issue that you were having? And if so, how did you adapt to it? How did you overcome this?
Well, the bike in Phillip Island moves a lot, actually. I don't know about the others. I was not in their bikes, but in my case, for sure, we started the week with the bike moving a lot. But then I was able to go fast anyway. Then I spoke a lot of times with my coach, and they always say in Phillip Island the bike has to move. If it's not moving, you are not going fast. So it's a thing that you keep in mind, and when it moves, you say, okay, maybe I'm going fast enough. So sometimes for sure the stability of the bike is super important, but when the conditions are like this, more or less for everybody, you need to handle the situation as best as possible. Like other times, maybe the bumps, or every time there are condition changes, and I think we just been the best, maybe Ducati, to adapt, the best rider, the best team, the best Ducati to adapt to the situation.
Fabio, thanks to you, there is another Ducati in the podium. But how do you see the Aprilia in this moment? And do you think that still the Ducati is the best bike of the grid?
Really difficult question. I think definitely our competitors are working in a great way. We saw that every manufacturer is closing the gap with us. We knew that Ducati had a big gap with the other manufacturers, but now Aprilia is more and more closer, or even ahead of us Honda is coming closer. Yamato, as we saw, Quartararo did I don't know how many pole position this year, 5. So for sure we have to work. For sure the work that we done this year could have done better, but it's part of racing, it's part of the game. We are a big team. I would say that we are a big team, me, VR and Ducati, and we are working so hard to make our bike always better and better and better. I just can't wait to start to work on the 26 bike to see if we can improve and keep a little gap with the others.
Raul, congratulations once again on your first Motogp victory here in Phillip Island. Well done as well to Fabio and to Marco on your top 3s. We'll see you guys in Sepang in a few days' time. Congratulations once again.